Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and welcome to another beverage chat. I am sipping on coffee, which is very random for me, but I have a late night tonight. Typically, I am not drinking this late in the night, but I did not drink any coffee the entire day. If you've been following my journey, I just started this new drink called the Happy Juice, the gut drink. It's by the brand Amare, and it doesn't have any caffeine, no sugar. It has nothing, but it's just been keeping me going, and it's had me in this just better feeling. But I try not to drink too much of it a day because it gets a little bit pricey. So I went and grabbed a iced Americano, no cream, no sugar, and I do like a quarter pump of mocha at this point, and it's just getting me through. So cheers to you. Let me know what you're drinking in the comments, and let's get started. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Tori. I make videos 4 to 5 times a week, and we do everything preparedness. We try and do it on a budget. I like to teach you how to do it. There's a sprinkling of homesteading in here. There's a sprinkling of motherhood, and there's a sprinkling of real chats, things that I've been experiencing lately that I know you have too. You can connect about it, chat about it in the comments, and I am just having such a good time with these beverage chats. Before we get started, some housekeeping things for the channel. Let me know how you feel about this. I was thinking, I've been on YouTube for almost 6 years, and I was thinking of maybe going live. I've never done that before, and it could just be me sitting here answering your questions, me sitting here just chatting with you. But would that be something you're interested in? I don't want to jump on and then just no one be there. I mean, I guess that's kind of the vulnerable side of YouTube. You kind of just do that. That's me right now. There's no one here, but it feels like I'm chatting with all of you. So let me know if you don't like the live thing. That would mean you would have to be there to interact. I believe you can type through things. Let me know if you want to do like a Q&A video, and I could just answer your questions in a Q&A, and they could be about anything. I'm really an open book as long as they're appropriate for the internet. I mean, what is anymore? So yeah, I will deem the questions appropriate or not, and then go from there. So let me know in the comments if you want just like a dedicated video, or if you want to go live, because I went on a Zoom meeting with some of you the other night, and I got to see one of you face to face, and it just melted my heart. I've talked to some of you every single day for a very long time, and I've never really got to meet you. So I thought maybe a live would be a really fun way to do that. I don't think I can host like a group Zoom. I don't really know how to do that, but I could try and figure that out. But yeah, let me know. Okay, so this has been on my mind for a little bit of time, and I don't know how to say it because I didn't want to be paranoid, but it happened again today, and I'm kind of going to explain it and then kind of connect it to, well, not kind of, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try and take this video slow, get to it. But today we were out and about on our nap run is what I call it. I try and get the girls to nap, and we drive around Colorado, and we were in a different county. I feel like every time we go out, everyone's working on the power lines. Every quarter a mile, sometimes every half mile, and then maybe down the road past the highway, you get it every mile. But I just find it very odd. I asked my husband about it. Is there like some sort of CDOT work going on? I don't even know if CDOT would be, no, Colorado Department of Transportation. It's not that. I guess it would be Excel Energy or something. I'm just shocked the amount of vehicles, and I don't know if your everyday person would notice. I'm not saying I'm some super natural being, but when I'm driving on those little nap car rides, I am just honed in trying to be as observant as possible, because I typically don't get a chance to do that during the day because they're asking me for a million things, which I wouldn't have it any other way, but it gives me a chance to be observant, and I have been observing it. So yeah, like I said, they're working on the power lines. At first I thought, Tori, don't be paranoid. Maybe they're just, putting in new power lines. They're old. People work on the power lines all the time. And then I thought, we have storms all the time, and maybe this is what's getting knocked down, and they're trying to come up with a better system to help the American people. And then I laughed at myself because that's not what they're doing. So then I moved on. I moved on to the internet. I started asking questions. I asked my neighbors questions, but they didn't notice what I noticed. I asked my friends. They didn't notice what I noticed. So yeah, I asked my husband. He said, you know what? Yeah, I have seen those trucks around. And then one of his friends at work said he did too. So that made me feel not so alone in all of this. And it leads me to my connection story. I'm going to look it up here on my phone. This movie that everyone keeps telling me to watch I believe it's on Netflix. We don't have the flicks. We have an Amazon Fire Stick, and you can like buy things, but we didn't buy Netflix, so I can't watch this, I think, but we'll see. What is it called? It's called Leave the World Behind, I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. Let me know if you've seen it in the comment box below. It says, a family vacation on Long Island is interrupted by two strangers bearing news of a blackout. As the threat grows, both families must decide how best to survive the potential crisis, all while grappling with their own place in this collapsing world. And then, you know, it has the director and it has the production assistants, but a lot of people are saying a certain family is involved. I'm not going to say the family. I don't feel like it. You can Google it. He was a former president, if that narrows it down, and he gave the presidential awards to some pretty sketchy characters. I know that's, it doesn't really narrow it down that much, but he was recent, so I hope that helps. Yeah, but his family apparently produced it. What did they do for this? Okay, so what I'm seeing is he provided feedback on the script to enhance its realism, so I don't know why we're asking him for that information, or Big Mike, but I mean, I guess that's what we're doing. But anyways, what I'm seeing is everyone saying that it has a connection to something that's going to happen in the future, because that's what Netflix does. And we've all been talking about these blackouts for forever. And then you get passerbys that say, I've never heard of that. What are you talking about? Yeah, the grid down scenario is very real. These blackouts have been tested before, I believe in California and other states. Honestly, it makes me wonder if all of these little blackouts we have here in eastern Colorado is part of it. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Colorado for doing something like that, but I doubt, I really do doubt it's happening in my rural community. But again, you never know, crazier things have happened. So it really makes you think, right? This is something that we prepare for. I don't want to sit here and say I'm excited for this. I'm not excited. I think every prepper, in a sense, wants to be able to use the scenarios they play out in their head, or maybe they want to use the preparedness items that they have been stockpiling in the event of an emergency. But a lot of us now can confidently say we're ready. Could I have said that 3 years ago? Absolutely not. I could not have said that. I could say with comfortability that we would be okay, but there would still be some uneasiness in my mind. And I feel like I have let go of that. I feel like I will be prepared. We've been preparing our children for this. We really try and limit screens. The only screen that they have access to is the television, and even that they have about a half a second attention span when it comes to movies and such. So it doesn't scare me being without power. The only thing that would ever set me back is being without power in the winter. I'm so thankful that I partnered with Jackery and Opez in the past, and at least we have our solar generators just ready to go in the event of an emergency. I don't think we will be cut off from society. Again, we live in a small rural town, and most people are pretty neighborly here. So if anything, I would try my best to help out my neighbors because they are a bit elderly. So again, in the event of a blackout, I'm pretty confident. I'd say about 95%, and I know a lot of you are too. So let's get off that subject for a second, not really think about it, but think about the movie and its connection. Again, I probably won't see it. It's not my jam. The movies that I watch are movies that I've watched probably 100 times over. That is my personality. That's part of a small weakness that I have as a human, and I know a lot of you can relate to that, especially in motherhood. I feel like these tendencies just come out, but I have a top 5 repertoire of movies that I watch. So again, common movies I don't really get to unless someone really suggests it to me. So I haven't seen this one. Let me know if you've seen it in the comments and how you feel about it, because I have a lot of questions. There was a lot of questions on why that person's advice was needed to get the ball rolling on this movie. I don't really know if it actually depicts what would happen in a blackout, but it's something we haven't really experienced as a society after the pandemic. So I don't know. I'm a little on edge about it just because of other people. I know we are all prepared. I've heard it from all the negative Nancys out there, never to share your preps. But honestly, 3 years ago when I made this switch on the channel, I felt like it was my duty. I felt called to this. I felt like it was important for me to start talking about preparedness because not a lot of people talked about it. And to be honest with you, not a lot of women talked about it, or mothers. And my mom always taught me how to prepare. And I just wanted to kind of share her knowledge and her approach to motherhood in the way that I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So that's why I started sharing these kinds of things. But a blackout, we should all be prepared for. I know some of you are off grid, so you are just already prepared for this. Let me know if you live off grid in the comments below. I'd love to pick your brain. I'd love to buy some of your land if you're willing to share. But that is the goal, the direction that my husband and I and my family are moving into. But again, we have to get back to Pennsylvania to be able to afford the land. Colorado land is insane out here. And in Colorado, you don't get a lot of rights to your minerals, your water, like just about anything. So at least in Pennsylvania, you get a little bit more when it comes to rights. But again, it just gets political. And Pennsylvania is such a purple state. It's really tricky. It's really tricky. So Pennsylvania is always in our heart because my family's there, but honestly, the land is cheap and it's just a slower pace of living. And that is what we're moving into. And that is my second connection to this movie and to the grid down scenario. I have worked so hard to move into a slower pace of living. As you know, I used to be an elementary school teacher, and while it was all fun and games, that's what most people think, it was getting hard. The school systems are difficult. I taught K through 5 art and the occasional 6th grade, and my class sizes were increasing. I left with one class having 34 kids. I didn't have enough chairs for those kids. I didn't have enough minutes in the day to teach those kids and actually have them comprehend. That, combined with behavioral issues and terrible district policies, just really led me out of the classroom and into my home. I would rush out every single morning at like 5 in the morning with 2 toddlers, try and bundle them up and navigate the roads, because it took about an hour and 10 minutes to even get to my job and get the kids to daycare. There was at a point where they were at 2 daycares and I didn't like either of them. So I felt so rushed. I felt sad in the morning, and it just didn't really start our day off well. And I did that for about 2 years. I mean, a year consistently, but when the pandemic hit, it got a little iffy. But anyways, what I didn't know at the time is I was seeking this slower pace of life, and it's something that has healed me. So coming home was a little bit hard to get into the groove of. I am not an expert now, but just waking up slowly and savoring every second is the season that I'm in now. So when it comes to having a grid down, I feel like a lot of people are going to have a lot of time on their hands. Of course, they may still go to their jobs. It just may look a little bit differently. I've shared in the past that I grew up in a town that perpetually flooded. There was an instance there where I believe we were out for 10 days and, FEMA came in, they brought their water tanks. My husband and I snuck off to New York City and Philadelphia. I'm pretty equidistant when I'm back in Pennsylvania to those places. And we just had, a good time having off of work, but we were in college. We didn't really have cares to deal with. We didn't have serious issues that we were facing if we didn't go to our jobs. So I feel like this time is going to be different. My husband is in law enforcement, so I feel like he is going to be needed much more than I am. But that just means a larger load of the parenting falls on me if there ever is a grid down. So I feel like these intentional days that I have been sharing with you all on the other channel, my motherhood channel, and this just slow pace of living has really been helping us prepare for something like this. So if you are in the rat race, if you're in that fast-paced sort of living, maybe take a few chunks of your day out and try and take it slow. And I could start with something so simple as intentional eating. Maybe put your phone down while you're eating and count your chewing. I know that sounds so and holistic, but it really started helping me when I knew I was moving into my season of stay-at-home momhood. And trust me, just try it and see how it goes for a couple of days. Definitely stay consistent with it, and I promise it will make a difference. But oftentimes when people think of preparedness, they're thinking of this tactile, end of the world, just all-in emergency scenario. And while sometimes that is in my mind, I always tell you on the channel, I am taking a more positive approach to this, and a mental mindset is going to help us all when it comes to these grid downs, these power outages that inevitably are going to happen. Do I think Netflix is predicting another issue? Maybe, perhaps. It's definitely possible. there's a lot wrapped up in that conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy if it's true, but you know, we've seen it before with other movies and what is playing out in the world that we know today. So yes, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Again, I'm not here to cause this sort of panic. I'm here to get you thinking. I'm here to get you thinking about scenarios. It's something that I was uncomfortable with that I really just started getting into comfortably, and it really has helped me in my confidence prepper journey, if that makes sense. You know, when I first started this, a lot of people were calling me crazy. A lot of people were saying I can't do this or that I'm a woman and we can't handle much when it comes to serious emergencies, which is laughable, but you know, that's people of the internet. If you are feeling uneasy about all of this, let me know in the comments below. I want to talk it out with you because that's what I'm here for. I do consider most of you my friends. So if you want to talk about it in the comments, that's fine. If you want to email me, that's fine too. I'm always available. What else am I reminding you of? If you've seen the movie, let me know in the comment box below. And if you want to see a Q&A via live or via a dedicated video, let me know. Or it could just be a live of me chatting, and those Q&As can come into this video. Maybe I'll make a post about it and you could ask them there. Maybe you're not curious. Maybe you just want to hang out and kind of listen in the background. That's cool too. I'm not going to do a song and a dance for you. I'm just going to try and be myself. I thought about cooking for you, but it will probably be late night after the kids go to bed. That really was my hesitation going live, was the kids. There's a lot of screaming in the background. I get frustrated. The kids fight with each other. You may hear crying, and I just don't want people to think I'm neglecting anything happening in the background, because chances are when I'm talking to you, I will be running in and out of the frame. So that is why I'm doing it late night. I hope that's okay. I was trying to convince my husband to get on here. I will say that about our relationship. We have a pretty good banter when we bring up some political issue or a conspiracy theory. Believe it or not, we do not have the same political affiliation, and you know, we have a lot of opinions when it comes to today's world issues. So maybe if he has enough encouragement, he'll come on here. He did a voiceover for me one time when I did a video on recipes and I lost my voice, and everybody loved him there. So maybe we can get him back on. Because of his job, it is a little tricky. So I don't know if you have any ideas about that. I do think you all would love him. He's pretty hilarious, and you know, he thinks like a lot of you. So yes, let me know all about that in the comments below. I'm going to see you very soon. I love just sitting down here and chatting with you, but of course I will bring in some preparedness hauls and some how-tos on medicinals. If you're new here and you like this video, definitely hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.